Investigative journalist Alan Nairn reports that secret documents have leaked from inside Indonesia's Special Forces unit known as Kopassus. The documents say that the U.S.-backed security forces engage in murder and abduction and show that Kopassus targets churches in West Papua and defines civilian dissidents as the enemy. The documents include a Kopassus enemies list headed by Papua's top Baptist minister and describe a covert network of surveillance, infiltration, and disruption of Papuan institutions. The disclosure came as President Barack Obama touched down in Indonesia last week. His administration recently announced the restoration of U.S. aid to Kopassus, despite the organization's well-documented history of abuses.
And our two nations are fortunate that we are forging a partnership for the 21st century. And to all the distinguished guests who are here,
kita bersepakat untuk meningkatkan
we have agreed to expand cooperation in various areas, and the main agendas are cooperation in trade and investment, education, energy, climate change, security and democracy, and civil society. Kopassus is the most notorious unit of Indonesia's armed forces, which, along with the national police, have killed civilians by the hundreds of thousands. The leaked cache of secret Kopassus documents includes operational intelligence and field reports, as well as personnel records, which list the name and details of Kopassus agents. The authenticity of the documents has been verified by Kopassus personnel who've seen them and by external evidence regarding the authors and the internal characteristics of the documents. When the U.S. restored Kopassus aid last July, the rationale was fighting terrorism, but the documents show that Kopassus in fact systematically targets civilians. A detailed 25-page secret report by Kopassus task force in Kota Raja, Papua, defines Kopassus' #1 enemy as unarmed civilians. It calls them, quote, the separatist political movement. The secret Kopassus study says that in their 400,000-person area of operations, the civilians they target as being political are, quote, much more dangerous than any armed opposition since the armed groups hardly do anything, but the civilians, with popular support, have, quote, reached outside their world with their so-called obsession with independence and freedom and persist in, quote, propagating the issue of severe human rights violations in Papua. The rights violations that civilians protest, according to the secret documents, quote, murders and abductions that are done by the security forces.